Hey everyone, Blockchain Bernie here with my latest episode, streaming live today from Salt Lake City, because remember, I'm at Mountain Dow here in Salt Lake. Alright, there has been a carnage in crypto, especially in meme coins, but generally in so many crypto coins. And Trump is down almost 80%, and so many other tokens are down like crazy in the last 4 weeks. And in this video, I'll dive through what exactly happened. I'll show you some charts, and most importantly, I'm gonna tell you what you can do in those situations. And that is not an easy question, but at the end of this video, you'll walk away with how to get the right mental attitude to go through this, not just walk away or flee or never do it again, right? How to get the right mental attitude, how to do your homework, how to find those investment opportunities that are really worth it. And by the way, nothing in this video is financial advice, because I don't know your situation, but I'll dive through all of these, and at the end of this video, you have all the instruments how to get through phases like these, which can be really down-putting. So watch it to the end, because you'll walk away with that set of tools to successfully master these difficult times, right? So let's get started with actually looking at what happened, right? So here we have the Trump token, right? And the maximum was at like $79, and it went down all the way to here. So we're talking the bottom here at 1601. Look at Pepe, one of the most successful meme coins here, and all the charts are 1 month charts here, right? So it went down like 63% from top to bottom this year, only talking about this year. Crazy, and it seems like the downtrend is not stopping. And even for Doge, right? That meme coin that had that big push from Elon Musk being part of the new administration and everything, but until January 17th, everything looked fine. But then look at that, it's also 53% down this year alone. So those were the memes. So let's now look at kind of L1s, right? Like the base blockchains of everything. We have Bitcoin here, and even Bitcoin is down substantially here from top to bottom. You see it's 16.2%. That's quite an amount for Bitcoin also, from 109 or so down to like 91. And on Ethereum, similar story, right? Went down here like crazy, is recovering slightly, but man, ETH is at 2,800 or so. It has gone nowhere for a year now, more than a year, right? It was at 4,500 at the top of the last bull cycle in 2022. So we're still talking 2,800 here. So ETH is really getting nowhere. And then let's look at Sol. So it's also been from top to bottom of 40% a downturn. And look at that here. The last few days don't really look well for Sol. So why is all that happening here? What triggered that, right? And to me, it's just like people went crazy. We had exuberance by the end of the year, the first few days of the new year, with the new administration coming in, with the Trump token being launched, and all these type of things. And there was exuberance, and there were a lot of new traders coming in here. And once they were all in, we ran out of buyers, right? We just ran out of buyers here. And all the guys that came new into the market, they went selling, because they thought like, oh, look at that, my money is on the way of going away. So what do when it turns down? They sell and sell and sell. And then there's a lot of people that do leverage, right? That basically buy things on margin, or what you do today is like you use these perpetuals that can do that. And And you know, these were all liquidated, right? We had that $2.3 billion in liquidations in 24 hours, which went through the press just recently, a few days ago. That is a lot of money, right? And everyone that came in knew, and they leveraged, and whatever they did, you know, they learned their lesson, and they're going out of the market now, right? So all these potential sellers, potential liquidations that are out there that came in through that exuberant period by around the beginning of the year, around the inauguration and all these type of things, these guys are all getting out of the market now, and they are selling, and that's what's driving these prices down. Of course, also a lot of uncertainty. We have that with each and every administration that's coming in. There is some kind of exuberance in the very early days, but then, you know, policies are being introduced, and in our case, it's the tariffs, right? The tariffs are driving markets like crazy, not only crypto, but interest rates, stocks, and everything. So there is a whole crazy amount of uncertainty in the market there. Even with the Gaza announcement that we had recently, there is so much uncertainty, and markets just don't like uncertainty. So people are selling. Is that fundamentally justified? I don't think it is. If there's any fundamentals in some of those, you know, meme coins by definition don't really have fundamentals, right? But what you should do, the very first thing is literally sit there and take a deep breath, and a few deep breaths, right? And really, I mean, it's not just, you know, saying this, and, you know, everyone thinks like, oh, that's everyone's saying, but I mean it. I really mean it, right? When you're in the middle of these emotions there, where you see things coming down and you're losing a lot of money on paper now, right? Really sit there and breathe and focus on your breath and try to figure out what is going on inside yourself. What are the feelings? And that's the mental game here, right? The inner game of being an active trader, being active in markets, be it crypto markets or stock markets or whatever. You need to be a master on inner game. And the first thing is not, you know, being aware of when you're getting caught up in emotions, right? And that is like, most of us, they figure that out next day when they did some actions out of emotions, like acting out of despair or acting out of anger or something like that. That is not the right thing to. You never make good decisions out of anger, out of despair, out of greed, for that matter. So you need to be aware of your own emotions, right? And for that, you need to stop. You need to stop. You need to sit down, and you really need to take some deep breaths. And listen to what's going on inside you. Awareness is really, really important here. And once you're aware, you need to accept, you need to surrender to what is. So if the price went down, there is no point in fighting that fact, because it has already happened. It already went down. If you have an inner fight against that fact, it's kind of an insane thing to do, because it already happened. It already is, right? So anything that already is, and I know it's tough to do, and it's not like liking it, right? It's not like, oh, I'm so happy I lost 50%, you know, in paper money right now. Nobody will be happy about that. But if you cannot be happy about it, at least you need to accept it internally, right? Because there's just no other way. It would be insane to not accept what is right now, right? So just accept the now and what is as it is, and figure out, okay, what can be my next steps? And that's the point of this video. So that was the inner game, right? It is really, really important to kind of separate yourself from the emotions and the thoughts, and the emotions and thoughts are very much connected. But distance yourself. You are not your thoughts, and you are not your emotions, right? You can watch your thoughts and watch your emotions, and you can be the observer, right? As if you're watching a movie or something, right? That way, you're not that taken away by these emotions. It's like, you know, there can be a storm out there with, you know, thunderstorm and heavy rain and wind and everything, right? And you could be out there, get soaked and everything, and then imagine another scene where you are inside watching through the window and seeing that storm happening in the outside. That's a harsh difference, right? It's really, really different. So, and you can do that with your inner game as well. If you distance yourself from what's happening and make clear, I'm the observer of things, right? And these emotions and these the thoughts, they are not who you are, right? You are the observer. You are awareness. You're aware of what's happening. That is super important if you're in those markets, right? If you get carried away by those thoughts and feelings and emotions and everything, you won't make the right decisions. So that's number one. So once you got that in place, you need to figure out, so avoid panic selling, right? That was the whole point, right? Avoid panic selling, and just as well avoid greed buys, right? So it's like most people buy at the top because they see, oh, everyone else has made that much money. It's going up like crazy. So then that is also an emotion and a fear of missing out, where then you buy at that very, very top. So with that inner game that I just revealed to you, you can avoid these things. You can avoid both, right? The greed buys and the panic sells. And then you need to do your homework, right? You need to look at your portfolio. You need to figure out, what are the goals of my portfolio, right? Do I have some fun budget here? Like I'm using whatever amount that you set aside, and you're like, okay, I don't care if I lose it all, and then you can take risks, right? But if you have a larger percentage of your total wealth put into your portfolio, and if you're a little bit older, just as me, you know, needing to retire at some point in time, you'd rather do less risk, right? And so look at your portfolio, diversify, right? Diversification is important to avoid, you know, losing it all, right? But don't over diversify. And I've had several videos about that where I warn people of over diversification. And if you diversify too much, you can't really follow all these things, and you don't have a relationship to them. So like in crypto, 3 to 5 cryptos is a ton of diversification. And then if you have both your crypto and you have stocks, and maybe you have bonds, and maybe you have real estate in your portfolio, that's a ton of diversification. Don't go with like 20, 30, 50 different tokens in your portfolio. And don't go with 20, 30, 50 different stocks in your portfolio, because simply you just can't follow them. If you need to do that and feel like, I want to be super diversified, you can buy ETFs. You can buy index ETFs. So you can basically be part of the S&P 500, or in crypto there are indexes also that you can buy into. But my recommendation is, you know, go in different categories. You know, don't do everything in crypto. Don't do everything in stock, right? Do cryptos and stocks. And if you need to, do some bonds, especially if you're a little bit older in life age, and do some real estate. Real estate, especially for young people, start buying real estate. You can leverage it even if you're young, because you know you can get a loan, and it's tougher today than it used to be. I get that, and you need to have a 20% down payment. But you can do it. I mean, there's in the US, there's so many programs where, you know, the you only need to pay 3% down and all these type of things. Make use of these things, especially when you're young. It's still the best way to build some wealth out of almost nothing. If you have a regular income, it doesn't have to be a super high regular income, but it has to be an income so that you get those mortgages from the lenders. Start with that. So have real estate, stocks, and crypto in your portfolio. And diversify on each of these, but not too much. 3, 4 is usually a good number, and most people don't get that, right? And do dollar cost averaging, right? So if you set regular buys or sometimes regular sells if you want to get out of something, like every week, every month or so, at the price, whatever it might be, then all the big spikes but also the big drops, they will be evened out of your portfolio, right? So that's something where you can set it and forget it, use dollar cost averaging, and you can even do that on the Solana chain in Jupiter. Jupiter allows you to dollar cost average, right? You can buy a few XAND tokens each and every minute which is awesome, because then you won't have that much slippage, and you don't drive the price up that much, right? So, and then look for opportunities, do some screening, and figure out what can gain in value, what has low risk, and where is the risk reward ratio nice. And I mentioned all these meme coins today that have gone down so much. And with meme coins, you know, I usually stay away from all of these meme coins unless I'm kind of like really, really early. If there's meme coins where you see like, okay, they have a backing of a person that has access to hundreds of millions, if not billions of people, like Trump, right? Or even Iggy Azalea. She has access to her followers, like, you know, so many people. And if I see these in the very, very early days, when they are only on decentralized exchanges, not on the centralized exchanges yet, right? Because you have to be a crypto insider to buy something on Jupiter, right? But then once it's listed on Bybit or Binance or Coinbase, then so many more people can buy it, right? So if I see that on the first day or so, it's only on decentralized exchanges. I did that with the mother token for Iggy Azalea, and I talked about it in this video here. And I also did it with the Trump token early on. I waited a little bit because I wanted to be sure it's not Trump's X account was being hacked or something. But I got it really, really cheap. I had the intention to keep it a little bit longer, but then I saw it shoot up that much and then going down again. And, you know, I didn't sell it at $79, which was the top, but I sold most of it at around 40 or 45 or so. And I got it at $7, and, you know, I made $100,000 profit on that, $100,000 gain. So that was great, but that was something where I was quite sure I can kind of time the market because I'm so early. And of course, not for all the tokens. If you're early, that it doesn't mean it'll go up, right? But if you know it's backed by President Trump, if you know it's backed by Iggy Azalea or something, right? Where you can be quite sure this thing won't go to zero, you know, the next day. And then if you know about it really early, that's a very, very good point in time to get in. But for most meme coins, you know, you just have to be aware they are super risky, and the risk reward ratio is usually not good, right? Many people think like, oh yeah, I know it's risky, but there's so much opportunity. For 99.99% of them, there is no opportunity, right? So better use something with a better risk reward ratio. And for the L1s, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Solanas, they have that better ratio. And there are fundamentals with so many tokens that are similar to stocks. They actually do something and they have a revenue stream, right? So Solana has a revenue stream. people pay fees on Solana that go back to the holders of the Sol token, right? So it is almost like a stock, and you can buy Sol tokens, and you have fundamentals there. You have revenue that's coming in, right? With Bitcoin, it's almost like a meme coin, right? But it's a very, very strong meme coin. But there is no revenue streams or anything. It's just the scarcity, but so many other tokens also have the scarcity. Almost all Solana tokens that are listed, they get listed with the maximum amount of tokens that can ever be there, right? Like with the XAND token, XAND, the Xandium token, it has a 4 billion and 15 million maximum supply. There will never be more tokens than that. So there is scarcity, and there is not even inflation, right? Bitcoin has inflation. So all of these tokens, including the XAND tokens, they are super, super sound. There is no supply being generated somewhere, right? Different story with Doge, though. With Doge, new coins can be minted each and every time through the miners. So, yeah, there's fundamentals, and look into those fundamentals, and that would be, a whole different video to look into all of these fundamentals here. And stay updated. That's why I don't recommend to diversify too much. Just do 3 or 4, and if you need to, maybe 5 tokens. But with these, you can stay updated. You can follow them on X. You can read the news, come to their website or their Discord on a regular basis, and just stay updated of what's happening there, right? Use stable coins wisely. First of all, the safest stable coin is still USDC, issued by a company called Circle, which is backed by major banks in the US and everything. Many people still use USDT, the Tether one, and there's some controversy whether they have all the reserves to actually keep staying pegged to the US dollar. The safest one is USDC. Use USDC. It's kind of the standard on Solana also, and use those stable coins wisely, right? So if you see there is exuberance somewhere, right, like it was with the Trump token, just sell the Trump token, sell it for USDC, keep the stable coins in your portfolio so that you can easily buy new stuff. For example, new meme coins that you hear of the first day when they're only on decentralized exchanges. And when you have that USDC in your wallet, you can buy them immediately, right? If you don't have USDC in your wallet and you want to buy on a decentralized exchange, it can take a few days until your centralized exchange will enable you to withdraw the USDC to your wallet, and then boom, the opportunity might be gone, right? So having stable coins in your wallet as some ammunition to get into something once opportunity arises, that's an important thing, right? Don't leverage, avoid over leverage. Best thing is don't leverage at all, because all that's leverage, it basically means buying tokens on margin, on credit. It is always a bad idea. It is just a bad idea. And the same thing's true with perps. You need to monitor it so much, and you can't really sleep well, and it might go well for a year or 2 years or 5 years. At some point it'll catch you, and trust me, I'm speaking out of experience here. So don't leverage, just don't leverage, and engage with the community. Each and every of these tokens has a community, a Discord. Engage with them, vote in their DAOs and things like that, to keep updated. So yeah, that was my overview here, and I have one ask for you. If you like information like this, destroy that like button for me, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And yeah, this was a little bit a makeshift studio here in Salt Lake City, and the next 4 or so episodes will be out of Salt Lake City. I'm pretty much enjoying it here. It's the Mountain DAO. It's a Solana focused event. It is packed this year. It's about 200 developers, in a large room, building and building on Solana. And by the way, still Solana is one of my top picks here, and also the XAND token, XAND, for the Xandium. Oh, you see it here, Xandium scalable storage layer for the Solana chain. It is ridiculously undervalued these days. So if you want to do something good with good fundamentals and good opportunities out there, get into that XAND token and set up your DCA, the dollar cost averaging, on Jupiter, so you can buy whatever you want every minute, every 5 minutes, every day, every week, every month. But you can set your schedule there and do that dollar cost averaging, right? Don't do everything in one transaction, right? Cool. So yeah, that was my my little insight for today with what I feel really great tips that you need to know to get through downturns like these, to get through pullbacks like these, how to stay focused mentally. Your inner game, your mental game is super important. It is the most important thing you can do. You need to be focused. You need to be aware of your emotions and aware of your thoughts that are just coming, flowing through your mind. It's an inner voice that talks to you, right? You need to be aware of that, and then breathe, and then act out of insight, not act out of emotions or thoughts that are coming, unsolicited. Thoughts are just coming through your head and coming and going. Watch them coming, watch the thoughts coming, watch the thoughts going. And that way you have a higher vantage point from which to start your actions. And that is like super important. All right. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Catch you guys later. Peace.